This is our Forex blog for March 4th, 2016, and I'm just going to showcase how our Forex trading systems did this week. And I'm adding more and more information to the printouts, which I am also storing in our database, so that when a particular trade shows up in the future, I can have more information about it and see in the future possibly more rules that it needs to find more winners, less losers, and make more money. Here's Visual Studio, and you can see every time it finishes on a particular currency, it prints out the number of patterns. There's now 3,745 patterns. I'm not exactly sure why this says 44, but there's nearly 4,000 different patterns I look for, and I'm just going to showcase the results this week. Keep in mind, every day I fix a few patterns and obviously add 5 or 10 new patterns most days. And so this is at the end of the day. Some of the losing trades that showed up that I fixed are not on this list. There are some new patterns I put on here. This one is new. This one's new. So these weren't on there originally, and there's like 4 or 5 patterns that I fixed that would have had losses. But you know, that's how I do the stats each day. You can compare it week to week, month to month. It's all how I've always done the stats. So this was Friday. You can there's 496 pips at the end of the day. You can see the sum down here. And what I really focus on is to try to make sure that there's more wins and losses and the losses are smaller. The average loss was 7.8 pips. The average win was 25 pips. And I did tweak the exits a little bit this week too. I'm back testing many different ideas to see what finds the most profits for the week, the smallest average loss, the biggest average win, and try to find a middle ground. Sometimes you can make more money with a lower winning percentage system that you know, does some things that in some cases might be bad for people and for myself. So I try to maximize profits while maintaining a system that's tradable. Who cares if it makes the most money in a month if a couple of days it stretches you out beyond imagine. So this is Thursday, 416 pips. The average loss 5.5. The average win 20. So you can see, you know, about 4 times bigger win than loss. Here's Wednesday. A lot fewer trades, 294 pips. About 50-50 win loss, 6.3 pip average loss. 24 pip average win, so 4 times bigger wins. Here's Tuesday, 305 pips. You know, not quite as good as last week. Last week, I think every day was over 500 pips. The average loss is 8 pips, a little bit higher than average. The average win, 19 pips, a little lower than average. I believe this would be Sunday and Monday. 309 pips, which is good for a Sunday, Monday. A lot of losses, but most of them are tiny. You can see the average is only 6.13. And the average win is 16.5. So not quite as good a win-loss rate and not as high a winning percentage as some days, but there's a lot of trades. And in days like this, you know, there's just not enough time in a day to fix some of these patterns that might need to be fixed. But I do store more information. As you can see earlier in the week, this is information I stored. I think on this day here I started storing the maximum profit into trade. This one netted 73.5, but it was up as high as 87.9. This trade right here that lost 7.4 pips did go 5.2 pips our way before it turned into a loss. So if you're manually trading this, you know, it gives you the power to, you can see the majority of these went at least a couple pips your way before turning negative. And I'm mostly using this for backtesting new ideas This trade right here was 17.5 pips in our favor, and then it only closed out at 4.7 pips. And it shows how many bars that was in the trade and how much time it was in the trade. So this one here that had 4.7 pips was in there 0.58 hours. So about 30 minutes it was in the trade. It was up 17.5 pips. And it gives me a feel, and it will give you a feel in the future, how often some of even of our losers are at least partially profitable before they turn into losers. This one had almost 10 pips profit and turned into a loser with 3.3 pips. So if you're manually trading this, and maybe news is about to hit at that time, and you can exit the trade right before there with a profit versus a loss, something to consider. So let me just showcase some of these trades. Here's the euro on Friday. You can see an explosive trend. It makes new highs for the day. We buy the pullback. This is good for about 40 pips. Earlier in the day, or let's scroll. Yeah, there we go. Earlier in the day, we have a loss here of about 8 pips. Previously here, we have about a 50 pip win. We also have a nice 35, 40 pip win here. And I'll just scroll back and show it on Friday. Win, small win, nice win. And I love these very narrow patterns. Clearly, it's making new highs. And by the way, I don't show this that often. This is what I look at. And it shows a lot more information. I have trend lines, Fibonacci areas. I know the slope of every trend angle. And so you wonder how I come up with these areas. You can clearly see I'm measuring every swing. I know how many pips higher these swings are than the previous ones. So it's clearly an uptrend. And, I label each pattern. But when we release this to our customers, you just see the buy and sell signal. But keep in mind that I am working every week, probably a few hours every week, on improving the intelligence of our exits. And I just started doing that about 2 weeks ago. Here's the pound. You can see we got in right here. That was a small loss, 4 or 5 pips. But the previous trade was about a 30 pip win, another 40 pip win, 15 pip win. Previous day, nice win, small loss, huge win, very small win. But you got out of this at the maximum profit here and flipped and went, you went short and then you went long. You made money on both trades. I love when that happens. Doesn't always happen, as you can see. Bought here, made a little bit of money, went short, made money, lost. You're going to have a string of losers occasionally. You can see win, win, win. Huge win. Win, loss. Losses are part of the game. But when you have a system that, and you can see the dollar CAD right here, small loss at the end of the day, you might not have even taken this trade as a human, because usually at the end of Friday, it's pretty poor trading most days. You can see win, no other trades that day, previous day, big win, small loss, that's it, only 2 trades. Previous day, loss, win, but the win's bigger than the loss. You have pretty much a break even here and another small loss and another loss. Might as well take it back. Small loss, win, loss. And some of these trades, by the way, on past days are not what I show on the stats. A lot of our statistical tools and models that we use, once you go back a day or two in the past, they're not as accurate because part of that day's statistics is using that day's action. So the stats that I keep are at the end of each day, and these are much more accurate. These trades, some of these may or may not have even shown up in the past once you go back more than one day. But here's the dollar Swiss. Nice win, huge win. The previous day, which again is a little bit less accurate, loss, very small win, break even. Next trade here, small loss. That's the only trade that day for the dollar Swiss. Win. And again, once you go back a few days, some of the trades that show up here may not even be the ones that actually showed up that day. And the Swiss yen found some really nice trades Friday, so I usually don't show this one. I do trade this, so It tends not to be the best currency to trade, but lately it's done well. A small win here and a pretty decent 30 pip win there. So that's it for the Forex blog. There's not going to be a release this weekend because I put in some changes to our stops. I really want to test another week before I release it to people. There's some extra rules in there that I'm not, I haven't actually seen trade live yet, only back tested, so I'm not going to release it. And should I make a horrible mistake, live trading tends to show your mistakes very quickly, so there will be a new release next weekend.